He's coached at 3 of Europe's biggest clubs and worked closely with some of the world's best players. He's won honours everywhere that he's been, and his tactics have inspired other coaches around the continent. So, is Pep Guardiola the greatest manager of all time?
Hello there and welcome to Football Now from Doha. Every now and again, a figure emerges in football that changes the game entirely. The 70s were dominated by the World Cup heroics of Pelé and the magic of Maradona in the 80s. As for the 90s, we had the Brazilian Ronaldo and the French Zidane. And of course, more recently, we've been treated to the battle of Messi and Cristiano. In terms of coaching, the likes of Arrigo Sacchi, Johan Cruyff, Jose Mourinho and Sir Alex Ferguson have all dominated and influenced from the sidelines. But right now, there is one man that stands at the very top of the managerial ladder, and that is Pep Guardiola.
Born in Barcelona, the midfield maestro made 263 appearances for his boyhood club before retiring in 2006. After taking a coaching role with Barca's famous La Masia Academy the following year, it took him just one season before he was announced as the first team coach, taking over from Frank Rijkaard.
In his first season, he won the sextuple. He won 6 trophies. And nobody in history of football had done that before. He was instrumental, I should say, in terms of creating the false 9 role for Lionel Messi, who was just coming onto the scene at the time. It was a masterstroke in getting a team to play together in such a way that was so effective and steamrolled teams for the next 3-4 years. But as I say, I think what really stands out the most is that first season straight away, 6 trophies. It left quite a lasting impression.
After 14 trophies and 4 seasons, it was time for a new challenge at Bayern Munich. 3 successful years in Bavaria saw Guardiola lift 7 trophies, including a domestic double in 2014, although the Champions League proved evasive. And so to 2016, Manchester City. So much hype, so much expectation. The first season, though, would prove to be a trophyless campaign, but City have been scintillating since, winning 5 Premier League titles in 6 seasons, including setting a record 100-point tally in 2018 and winning the treble last season, a feat only matched by Sir Alex Ferguson's great Manchester United side of 1999. And despite all of the success, the mercurial manager shows no sign of slowing down.
Yeah, Pep's career has been full of trophies, but what has made him so special since stepping out onto Camp Nou 15 years ago? Well, an obsession with tactical brilliance has not only helped him overcome those tight league title chases and cup finals, it's also influenced the coaching techniques of other top managers across the world.
I think Guardiola's impact has been so momentous that people often don't realize how things were before him. It's now a given that if you are a team with ambitions to play well, to win big prizes, you play out from the back. But that 5-6 years ago was still seen as something crazy, something too risky, something that couldn't be done. The way that he's used the fullbacks, pushing them into midfield, again, it's becoming now a ploy that we see copied. He was the first one to do it in many, many decades. He has changed what is perceived as possible and will always be the ambition, if you will, of teams with superb playing material rather than your average side or even sides with lesser quality.
Well, with all that success behind him and the influence that he's had on football, the question surely has to be asked, is Guardiola the greatest manager the game has ever seen? Well, not many fans could argue with that suggestion, but which other top coaches could hold a claim too?
If you've ever heard of the term total football, it's because of this man, Rinus Michels, arguably the first manager ever to coach his side to attack and defend as a unit. Fellow countryman Johan Cruyff took inspiration from Michels, bringing total football to Spain, revolutionising an ailing Barcelona squad. Pep Guardiola counts Cruyff as one of his biggest inspirations. The next generation was led by one man, Sir Alex Ferguson. The Scotsman consistently reinvented his Manchester United sides, winning an incredible 13 Premier League titles in 20 years. And more recently, Jose Mourinho has made his mark on the game, picking up a staggering 26 major trophies throughout his time in Portugal, England, Italy and Spain. Honourable mentions too should go to Bill Shankly and Bob Paisley, who turned Liverpool into a winning machine, the most successful Italian manager ever, Giovanni Trapattoni, Arsene Wenger for bringing in new training methods and diets to the Premier League, and the only man to win 4 Champions Leagues, Carlo Ancelotti.
That's the thing about Guardiola. He's revolutionized modern football. I think the players buy into what he's doing because he is so successful. Before this season, he had won 30 trophies at 3 different clubs. And so he already built that reputation as being one of the very best. The obsession, the relentlessness, the never getting tired of winning, it keeps him going to always find new ways of innovating. Here we've seen it again this season. He finally capped it off by getting a historic treble, and now it's 33 trophies overall. And I think finally people will accept that he is, I think anyway, for my taste, the best manager in football history, not just because he's a winner, but because the way that he has changed football.
Yeah, Pep is in fine company there amongst some of the greatest managers the game has ever seen, although his genius is certainly something unique, isn't it? That brings us to the end of this week's show. Do let us know your thoughts at home using the hashtag FootballNowGuardiola. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.